YouTube, so we got it out to YouTube as well, chat. Good morning. Today is Bloodlands, so we're gonna make the absolute Bloodlands banger work. We know that it works because we did already so in Season 4, but now we'll have to see if we can get it better than ever. I should have most of the items needed to get this running. Still, it's gonna be an interesting experience. That is cooldown reduction. We have no corpse interaction. We have a curse interaction, so that's for sure. We need the blood interactions, and we probably need these two. We need the blood orb interaction. We don't need necrotic carapace. We need compounding fracture for the cooldown reduction. We might not need compounding fracture for the cooldown reduction. We'll have to see about that. We need the crit. We need the sacrifice. And we need the Bloodlands key passive. I actually have to pull out my Bloodlands build from before, so we kind of know what's happening there, because I don't have that, right? So we'll need to get this done. Freak you, good to see you there. Howdy. Bloodlands. Ah, there's Bloodlands. Okay, so I'm going to look at the Season 4 build, even though we're veering off the Season 4 build, because simply we have to... we need to make some corpses, yes. So we're not interacting with corpses, right? In no way. But we still need to make corpses end of the day. Oh, you know what we also need? That is a very good point, chat. You are very smart people, and I appreciate it. We might need spiked armor. Why might we need spiked armor? That's actually very simple. Because we're not going to get the armor cap otherwise. Let's take this lower region here and put the build that we had before. Because if you look at my armor cap, like, it's just going away, right? Like, well, what's armor? We got a new mutilator plate, so I bought myself one on the trading hub. Right? So that one can also be... Hopefully I have some up the side. Because right now, like, this max life, right, it goes from, like, straight up to 18.4% max life. I mean, look at this. I'm at 23,000, and boom. That item gives me, like, just 4,000 max life bonus like that. Hello? Hello, knock knock. Is this on? Oh, I can put a royal ruby in, please. Don't you hesitate. Right, suddenly we're at 30,000 max life. Boom, 32,000 max life. We're cooking. Now, I found Blood Moon Breaches. You won't believe this, but I you know, like, I just recently found these Blood Moon Breaches. That are essentially the perfect Blood Moon Breaches. With even a greater affix on, like, on goddamn overpower damage. So we're now sitting at 30,000 max life comfortably. It's a good one. And we found a maze. Look at this. Maximum life and overpower damage. Then we get maximum life and base overpower damage as well. I gotta try to get... That's an axe. That's a maze. I gotta go for maze. Wait. Wrong buttons. I gotta go for maze. Because I found quite some, right? Just didn't find the real one yet. I love how I get something good running and you come up and get something better. Well, I'm trying, right? Like not all my builds are straight off the rip insane. Like, for example, the Bone Splinter build, it's very good, but I think there's so much more I can do with it. So there's still another level to take this to. But I'll need some time to cook that up, right? Like, I need some time to find the equipment. That's currently my biggest constraint. I don't have the time to find all the equipment I need. How strong are the mythic ancestrals from the ancestrals? You mean the mythic uniques? And the mythic uniques are not per se stronger. They just have, like, certain niche uses where they're good. Okay? So it's not like that an ancestral is just always better. Okay? If that makes sense for you. Doombringer would be bonkers. So Doombringer would be bonkers, but I don't have it. See, that's the thing. Yes, I would like to make an overpower build with Doombringer. Yes, 45% bonus life with Doombringer would be absolutely incredible. No, I don't have it. Right? I know a lot of content creators have been saying, oh, it's so easy to get these items nowadays. And I'm like, how? When did you get these items? When? Like, when is it easy? How is it easy? I've not gotten a single Uber Unique. I've tried, trust me. I've tried. Oh my goodness, I just greater affix the overpower damage. Let's see if I can not greater affix. Let's see if I can masterwork the maximum life. No, I masterwork Bloodlands. I'll take it. I'll take it, Chad. What's the whole app? Let's get it going. We need gloves. So we got Bloodlands gloves too. We get actually incredible Bloodlands gloves. So this is going places right now. So there is these gloves, 4 ranks to Bloodlands. Thank you very much. Because why wouldn't we just get 4 ranks to Bloodlands like that? The tempering gotta be... So that's my question right now. What would you temper? Like, we're not gonna temper blood attack speed probably, right? Or are we gonna temper blood attack speed? I kind of want to, like, yeah, I need to get 50% attack speed, and I need to get more attack speed. Technically, I need to temper blood attack speed. I don't want blood overpower damage. Can you give me blood attack speed? No? 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 Yeah, well, I'll take it. I'll take it because I have no other chance, no other choice than taking that right now. Thank you. And a lucky hit chance to freeze is very important. Why is the lucky hit chance to freeze so important? They just hired the lucky hit chance of Bloodlands, right? I mean, the lucky hit chance of Bloodlands is 55%. So with a 15% chance to freeze, you're actually having a substantial chance to actually freeze, which is a good thing. Blood wave, tendrils. What am I missing? Blood mist. Good. I've been running a Blood Surge Wave Mix clearing tier 6 so far. Blood Surge is incredible, especially because they fixed the Starlight aspect. So the Starlight aspect used to be bugged. Wow, I mean, what means bugged? So you gain 40 of your primary resource for every 20% of your max life that you heal, right? So that sounds great, but it didn't work on overhealing. Like you were overhealing, like you were at 100% health and you go over, it didn't do anything. They fixed that, so you can actually overheal nowadays, which is quite interesting that that's possible. Okay, so we got the Gore Quill aspect now on our gloves. So this would be Gore Quills. And we get it even better now, so that's nice. That's the maximum Gore Quills. On the weapon, we're going to go for wave. So we need the triple wave. Title aspect. Because you want the triple wave, right? And we're actually playing, look at we're playing Flicker Stab, Chad. Why are we playing Flicker Stab? Because 570% ultimate skill damage. So right now we're just trying to get the blood wave positively cooking, right? To levels above and beyond. The question is what we're about to temper. So the problem is that there's no blood temper. That makes sense. So blood surge size is bad. Hemorrhage explosion size is bad. We're currently thinking like Bloodlands duration might be better than we think it is. But we have like no feeling about direct impact of Bloodlands duration, actually. So Bloodlands, like, gets stuck in an enemy, right? And right now it is 5 seconds, and now it's 6 seconds. But the way how Bloodlands works is throw a Bloodlands that lingers in an enemy and damage to the enemy and all other lanced enemies. But like, technically, this should be doing more damage to the original target as more lances are in the original target, right? But it's always been like, does it actually do that? Okay, now I get blood attack speed, hopefully. Blood attack speed, hopefully. Blood attack. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Like, I was really not in the mood of throwing hands with a computer game at 5 a.m. in the morning, right? Chat. Who wants to throw hands with a computer game early on? So what I really would like to do is, you know, I really would like to put the Crown of Lucian into this build. But my issue is, I don't think that's feasible. Right? But if I could put the Crown of Lucian in, that'd be great. My problem is right now, look at my values. I'm at 5,000 armor. That's bad. So I'll somehow have to get my resistances up, right? Without my rings, so I'll be having to pull out all the diamonds out of the rings, and I anyways need new rings for this build. But yeah, so that's going to be a challenge in itself. Because that ring needs to go away, that ring needs to go away, and that ring needs to go away, sadly. Actually, that amulet could stay for the build, because we're gonna say screw the temper. I had a ring with a blood orb temper, I think. Here, we get this blood orbs reduce your ultimate cooldown. No. I had a ring. Blood orbs restore essence. Look at this. This is a greater affix ring. This is actually really good. So this is blood orbs reduce now the ultimate cooldown, which we finally have a better of. That's the fast blood aspect, right? So this one got damage, maximum life, and attack speed. That damage roll is obviously trash. So we would have to replace the damage affix with probably critical strike chance, right? Don't see a big other way of doing things here right now. Damage, intelligence. Critical strike chance, yeah. Probably something in that direction because we need much crit. So we get that one, and then we need another ring with attack speed because the goal is like 100% attack speed, right? So we get we need attack speed. Blood orbs RNG, ha 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 ha. No, blood orbs are RNG, but not. So my chest has a 10% chance to make blood orbs. Boom. Okay. Then my blood wave is making 9 blood orbs. Now the interesting part is 9 blood orbs from the blood wave, triple cast. Every single blood orb reduces the cooldown by 220 seconds, let's say 2 seconds. So that's an 18-second cooldown reduction on the blood wave. So that already brings it from 50 seconds down to 32 seconds. Then we have lucky hit, and the lucky hit of the blood wave is 55%. My blood lance has lucky hit 55%. So the chance to get at least 10 seconds cooldown reduction from Decrepify is realistic. That brings it down by 28 seconds already. Then we might just simply form a blood orb, and every single Overpower forms a blood orb of 6 blood lances. So we're going to get so many blood lances out that we form blood orbs, that we get more overpowers. And then technically we should get the blood wave cooldown down to 0 per blood wave to essentially perma spam blood wave. That's a little bit of the plan that you're having on hand. Oh yeah, look at this ring. I forgot I had it. That was the ring I was meant to play, right? So the thing is, I have on this one the temper for blood orbs restore essence, correct? Which is actually a good temper. So that is a... yeah. This is another blood attack speed. Yeah, I'm still tempering blood attack speed, and the reason why we're tempering blood attack speed is, so there's like 2 attack speed caps, okay? So there's like your attack speed cap 1 and attack speed cap 2. And we can fill this one up with stats, right? So this one is like everything on your rings. And then the attack speed cap 2 is like with aspects. So if I now get the aspect of Wrath Must Chosen, for example, so if we're taking a focus, because that's what I actually need, we take an offhand, a focus, and that focus gets an aspect on it. That gives me another 50% attack speed. This 50% attack speed does not cap attack speed number 1. Right? And that's actually very interesting. Oh, wow, you're not going to type focus in? That's actually very interesting. Critical strike chance, max life, and resource cost reduction. You know what? We're taking this one. Perfection. We get a ruby in. And knowing about these 2 different attack speed caps essentially allows you to attack faster than anything. The problem with these 2 attack speed caps is that if you don't know about them, that's kind of shit, right? Then again, it really doesn't matter for the normie. Because, like, it doesn't influence you too harsh not knowing about this, right? Like, it's not gonna ruin your build. It just stops you from reaching like absolute ultimate power. But now we essentially get 50% attack speed from this, which brings us up to technically 85% attack speed bonus. But the blood attack speed is not being counted into that. I don't actually know where the blood attack speed lands, if that lands in cap 1 or cap 2. But since it's a fixed bonus, it should land in cap 1. Which means I'm at 50 and 50% attack speed. If that makes sense. Would it be easier to get each attack speed triggered 3 times or more than tempering? Wait, what? Smiley? Rephrase? How was the day at Blizzard? Amazing. It was so cool to meet all the Blizzard people. So that was a very cool experience that I cherish right now. Okay. You see Goblin Inc. talking shit about you last night on stream. No, and I also don't care, Della. I mean, I don't have in hand what other people do, you know? I don't have in hand what other people do with their time and how other people act. The only thing I have in hand is how I act and what I do. And, you know, I behave as best as I humanly can, right? To my own powers and understandings, without like trying to bother much about what other people do. And if other people decide to be twats, then they can be twats. I mean, that's their own personal choice of life, right? I do not hold sway over them. And that is what it is, you know? Sometimes you just gotta let people be. Bloodlines duration. Hemorrhage explosion size is so useless. So that is my Bloodlines now sticking in the enemy for 8 seconds. That means 8 seconds long, he should be taking multiple damages. NECRO Showdown? No, there's no showdown, sir. I just exist, right? I just do what I do. I mean, I'm 11 years a content creator. It's like you have to understand that in my 11 years of being a content creator, people have spread lies about me. People have, like, so I stopped streaming Hearthstone to play PUBG, okay? And you know what other Hearthstone creators said? Because they wanted my viewers, because I had more than them, they said that I got banned and you shouldn't be looking for me on Twitch anymore. So they said Blizzard banned me and Twitch banned me. So you can start watching them now instead of me. Great, right? So, you know, if people like this exist, like you can only mind your own lane and do your own thing, right? And just let them be. If they want to exist like this in the world, then they can exist like that in the world. It's a weird vibe, but what am I supposed to do, right? I can only influence what I do. I cannot influence what others do. But it's a cute world we live in sometimes. So title, gore quilts, fast blood, sacrificial. Boy, oh not, I almost forget about that. Why are we playing the sacrificial aspect? Because it's so damn good. It boosts all my damage higher up. So that sacrifice bonus is being higher. That's quite nice. And yes, I don't have a helmet. Yes, I know. I just don't know yet what helmet I want, okay? That's my problem. Currently, we don't have the Ring of Starless Skies. So what we're going to play, we're going to try out the Starlight aspect. Because Starlight aspect should work insane, since it gives me, again, it gives me 40% of my resource back if I heal for 20% of my life. But how do you heal for 20% of your life? Well, I have 35,000 life, right? What's 25% of 35,000? So if we pull out a calculator here right now, right? Sorry, I'm going to make it a bit smaller so you're not getting blind. So we get like 35,000 times 20%. So that's 7,000 of my life is 20%, right? The interesting part is that one blood orb heals for 8,000 life. What? You heard right, correct? you heard right. So that means if I'm making blood orbs like this, right? So these are my blood orbs, and each of these blood orbs would now give me 40% of my resource back. So if I'm now holding down the button, look at my resource.
I'm low on essence.
Spell a blood wave in between. Right? You're like, put a curse on. And this is like without like... so you notice how we have like overwhelming attack speed. And we can't be stopped. And we're just boosting away. Interesting, right? So wait for people to be shit talkers when all they play the same game. Exactly. And Cartha, you're completely off the gap here. I mean, I saw someone theory craft a build. I saw them on YouTube, right? I found them. I saw their build. I gave them credit for their build, you know, for their theory craft. And then I made my own version of it. Simple as cake. And then someone else decided to get absolutely butthurt about it, which is okay. I mean, if you want to get butthurt about it, it's your own personal choice to do that. But if you're trying to like spin your own narrative into this that is simply not true, then that's just bad. Cartha, you're completely wrong. The build is not shit versus AoE and bosses. You're not actually saving me time. You're literally just wrong. I mean, I've tried this build already in Season 4, and it was fantastic versus AoE and bosses. So, yeah. I mean, thank you, but I'll keep cooking if that's okay. I might have to pick up this armor here, which kind of saddens me that I might have to pick up the armor. Because again, we're like so off the mark here. Oh wait, I need to put on like an absolute. I'm not ready yet. I mean, let's try. Wait, before. This is never gonna work, right? So let's try something before. So I got the Crown of Lucian, right? Let's do the Crown of Lucian. Yeah, that brings me 7,000 armor. That's actually good. I'm just gonna make sure that my resistances are up, so we're gonna work on that. I mean, it's not a problem, but we'll have to see. If I do like triple gems or something. But you could always reach out to the creator instead of steering out shit up for no reason. Chris, exactly. But people do what they do. You know, Chris, people like drama more than talking about things because drama pays the bills. Okay, so like this, I think I'm burning... Yeah, I'm burning through too much resource. Fuck. Like, you end up having 38 essence cost per blood lance. No, I just don't make enough blood orbs to make this work. Look at that. Oh, it would be so cool if I could make this work. Nah, I'm just not... I need more essence. We're not getting it with a Crown of Lucian, sadly. That'd be nice if I could actually whip that out, but we can't. Sadness together. I guess I could make it work if I get the Ring of Starless Skies, because the Ring of Starless Skies kind of offsets what the Crown of Lucian does. Okay, Crown of Lucian is not an option. I need like a helmet that just exists, I guess. I need a helmet that exists, and then I put Hardened Bones on. So, just here. Where's my armor? Helm. No, we'll see. I still need the Poopmancer this season. They nerfed the Poopmancer. I'm sorry. I do really want to play the Poopmancer, and I think the Poopmancer is a fantastic build, but they heavily nerfed it. They penalized it. So, yeah, we can't really play the Poopmancer. I know we all want to. It's not really an option. I mean, I might put on this helmet, and we're going to socket it, and we're going to re-roll the... Wait, if I put on a helmet, it would have to have armor. Yeah, I can have total armor. Wait. No, this is going to work. I mean, technically, you want the Harlequin Crest as a helmet, right? But we don't have the Harlequin Crest because we're just unlucky, I guess. Which is unfortunate. Now we need to put the... helmet onto... Yeah, temper. Then we need to temper the helmet on total armor percentage. Thank you very much. That brings us up to 8,000 at least. And the chance to freeze. Or mobilize, I don't care. Freeze is better because freeze is just hard. Then we can get Hardened Bones on it. For the damage reduction. And the life per second can be... We're not taking resistance, I'm just fishing here. So maximum life. Then I can go to the Master working. And we can give it a 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're suddenly sitting at 8,200 armor. That means we're missing 1,000 armor. Okay. 1,000 armor. Don't you think the 400 buff to Bloodwave would make up for the Shadow Blight performance? No. So Bloodwave is doing 400% more damage. The problem is that you're having a, like the 240% multiplier you usually get is down to 100% multiplier, so you're using 140% multiplicative damage. Even the bonus damage doesn't really make up for it because Bloodline's still not stacking. Right? So Poopmancer does work. Like, I don't think Poopmancer is dead. I do believe Poopmancer still works. It just doesn't sadly work as good as anymore. So that's like the sadness I feel there. I don't think it's ruined. Okay, that's for a fact to be true. Like, it should still do roughly what it was meant to do. I mean, again, we will try it out down the line, but oh, that is not what's in there. There's Amplify in here. I'm a bot. So Amplify would boost the damage and would boost the Blood Orb healing, which is actually good for the Starlight aspect. Then we pick up the maximum life bonus. We go into the... There's actually like a new way how you could go through the Bloodbath board. And it was by ignoring the lower node. So what you would do is still walk into the board like this, but then you go over here to essentially activate that because it's saving you like a few points that you don't get over the lower end. So if you essentially decide to do this, right, to pick up the Essence Glyph, I think it's Essence Glyph there. Then you go out, right, we'd still go up to pick these ones up, and then you would, though, decide to go over this side, even though it's like a bit sad, but if you count the points, you're saving like yourself 5 Paragon points or so. And that's 5 Paragon points more that you can actually put into maximum life things. And that's what we need, right? We need as much maximum life as possible. There's one big problem though, chat, and there's also one big thing I'm pushing for in the talk with Blizzard. So I've been actually like, again, we're at the Blizzard HQ, we're talking to them. And there's one big thing I keep mentioning every single time I'm being asked, and that is Necromancer Barrier. please, for the love of Giggity God, I need any way to get myself a barrier, or we're throwing hands, right? Oh no, wait, fuck, figgity, fuck, frick, this is bad, because... no. I don't like this. So, the Son of Death has a problem. I need to go from Son of Death down into Blood Begets, right? But at the same time, I do want to pick up this node because it's ultimate damage, because that would be kind of nice for my Blood Wave. But I can't pick those two things up because it just doesn't work that way, sadly. Okay, this is the Dominate Glyph. So 1, 2, 3, bub bub, bub 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 bub, oh, bub bub, bub bub bub. Now we get do. Okay, done. Then we can put the Dominate Glyph in there. Okay, we're not going to pick up bonus points currently because our Overpower is like kind of high enough or good enough, right? 35 points is good. With the max life here, then we're going to go out, and that would be into the Flesh Eater board. Yes, fantastic. So Flesh Eater, and Flesh Eater would be Corporal. And the interesting part about Corporal is that due to us using Bone Prison, that should technically provide us with bonus. No, that's Sacrificial. It's no active minions. Wait, should we take Corporal instead of Sacrificial? I mean, the only advantage of Sacrificial is it costs int to activate. You know what? We're gonna take Corporal. Because Sacrificial doesn't have like a bonus provider, but Sacrificial gives a higher bonus. Actually, Sacrificial gives the same bonus as Corporal. Interesting. That's true. Okay, we get this activated. We get the bonus resistance to all elements, which is nice. And we get 8 points. How do I have 8 points left? Well, I talked about it, right? So I said, like, putting my points the way I put them actually grants me a few more points to wiggle. And that is fantastic because now we can check, like, if we have any max life nodes that we haven't taken. I mean, you can go for... Where's max life? Am I blind? Attack speed, healing, healthy, minion. Wait, what? There's no max life in like for searching. Interesting. Okay, that brings us currently to 42,000 life and 8,421 armor. If I drink an armor potion, I would gain 250 armor, which then gets multiplied up. So I'm at 9,062 armor, which is still not in... Fix. Ta-da. So, ladies and gentlemen, we get the armor fixed. It's not a beautiful fix, but it'll hold up in front of court, right? We could take this if we wanted to. And now we could just take these 2% more max life to bring us to 44,000. Okay, that would in total mean that we're currently sitting at almost fully resistanced out, right? The problem is that we need to we need to keep these armor thingies in. So we're fully resistance out, but we're not. Ergo, I would have to sacrifice this for 44% elemental resistance, which is actually insane if you think about it, right? That in counter perspective means that I can pull this one out and we can put a skull in, which is actually interesting. So that's a skull landing in there. Then we put this over. So that puts us at 10,000 armor, and then we can shift some Paragon points around. Does that sound decent? Right? A good beginner build, Doug. We have a bunch of 1 to 100 builds that we have a YouTube video on, Doug. I mean, technically, like, if you want to play Necromancer, Minions is always the recommended beginner way, because Minions are just so easy to play. That one can go out as well, because we don't need any resistance nodes anymore, because we're like completely overcapped now, right? Beyond belief, actually. So we can take all the points out of resistance nodes, and then we have more points left over, which I don't know what to do with. So it's a bit of like, it's a luxury that is nice to have. And you could also like go over the right side here instead of the left side and pull this out, right? You could also completely pull these points out. But the problem is you got to spend 2 points anyways to then get more intelligence to actually activate this one, right? And it's like kind of an unnecessary waste because this also boosts the intelligence nodes here. But still, we technically don't need it, so that gives me more points. And with 6 points, I could actually make it into the more ultimate damage and crit. How are we feeling so far with this? Curse. Yeah, that's up to 20 million. So that was in the ballpark what I was expecting, but I'm not happy yet, right? Because it's just like there, but it's not there. So not where I totally wanted to go. Especially because we only have 61.5% crit chance and only like 8,000 crit damage. So these values I expect to be higher. Hopefully. Especially because I didn't sacrifice for overpower damage. Because now suddenly our overpower damage is sitting at 5,000. Oops. Yeah, that's better. Considering though, overpower has like a cap, so like you notice that I just doubled my overpower damage, but it didn't like lead to super insane outbursts of damage, and that's kind of like the way how overpower is being calculated and the way it then goes. Yeah, this is in the ballpark what I was hoping for. I mean, we do need more life, so we are still not where I want to be life-wise, especially because we have to masterwork that one up. Okay, let's do a tier 5 horde. And we have no barium, so that's always the problem, right? Not having a barrier is a big stinker. And you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it, right? Do we have a guy, Mr. Axekey? I mean, we made a Season 4 guide, but we're currently trying to adapt this to the existing scenario. So you just get pooped on. So the goal is essentially to just get my blood wave back every single time, and then just stand AFK here and essentially daisy chain everyone into each other. So like, right, I'm just sitting here, put the blood wave lances out, pull everyone together, just keep healing, right, keep overpowering. Nothing can essentially kill you. If people are coming too close, you just avoid them for a second. Then you put this together. Technically, in order to make this even better, I would have to take the size of... What was it called again? I'd have to take the size of... What was it called again? Corpse Tendrils? Because then, you know, like, you could just get more people together at the same time. And you essentially, like, need attack speed galore, because attack speed is, like, what you do. Right? Attack speed is everything you do. It's like your biggest scaler, because more attack speed just means more lances, means more overpower, means more pierces, means more everything. This is working exactly as I wanted to. I would just need to have like a cursed vehicle. That would actually be better. But the problem is you don't have a cursed vehicle. So getting anything to kind of curse for you, so you don't have to constantly think about cursing, because that's like the one issue, right? I do, if I'm not cursing things, then we're missing out on a 150% damage multiplier. So that's like no curse, no 150% damage multiplier, and that's significant, surprisingly, right? Unsurprisingly. Blood wave is always up. That's good. It's doing a bit less damage than I wanted to do, but it's doing enough to be viable. My thing about, though, like dropping the flicker step. I mean, the flicker step is nice for infernal hordes, because if you actually dash through someone, right, you get the thing back. So it's good. My favorite part is like the healing you're getting. Where you just don't suffer from anything. So the good part right now is if you have a bloodlance stuck into an enemy, right? Like you just have to have one bloodlance stuck into someone, and then for 8 seconds long, he's gonna take more damage for every bloodlance that you're throwing somewhere, which is kind of fun, right? Get rid of a lance equipped Surge Cruise and thank me later with the Embalmer aspect. Or sir, this is a Blood Lance build, not a Cruise Embrace Surge build. So how about you try this out and thank me later? I mean, two different concepts. We all know that Blood Surge is good, don't get me wrong, but this is not Blood Surge. But Embalmer Cruise Embrace does work wonders, yes. Especially with a fixed Starlight aspect. So I think the main thing that Blood Surge has currently going on is the Starlight aspect, because Blood Surge essentially heals with every surge, right? And again, if you heal 20% of your max life, you're actually getting 40% of your resource back, and that's huge, right? I mean, getting 40% of your resource back is just huge. The advantage of Bloodlance, obviously, is that Bloodlance automatically gets resource back by existing, right? Like, I exist, I throw Bloodlance, Bloodlances consume Blood Orbs give me resource back. So you're like infinite resource without ever having to do anything, which is kind of funny, right? I just pick up every single Bloodlance, and you notice how my orb just doesn't go down. Usually you would do this with the Ring of Starless Skies, so the Ring of Starless Skies kind of like provides the same benefit. But you're like skipping the issue, essentially. Ether Fiends explode. Yeah, sure, I like this one. It's just funny to see when they explode. Play Dungeonborn. I don't know what Dungeonborn is. Isn't it that second copy of Dark and Darker. Isn't it? I don't have it on top of my mind right now. Like, wasn't these all like these kind of games, right? That are all like vying right now for the interest of extraction players? Might be, right? No clue. But really no interest in these kind of games currently. I mean, they're not bad per se, but they don't offer me the game experience I'm looking for, to be honest with you. Especially as I'm mostly a solo player, and a lot of these games, they want you to literally play in a team, because if you're not playing in a team, you're always at a disadvantage. And I do personally dislike games that put me at a disadvantage for just wanting to play alone, right? I mean, Diablo technically puts you at a disadvantage for playing alone, but this is technically because the disadvantage is like one of choice that doesn't ruin the game for you. Whereas in a competitive environment, like, the choice isn't really a choice, right? This been uploaded on YouTube. The Season 4 version is uploaded on YouTube, but we're currently making the Season 5 version, which is a bit changed in terms of, like, how I can do some stuff. And we actually brought the flicker step back in. Even though we have to still gauge if the flicker step is truly worth it. I mean, again, you see me dashing through these in front of horde dudes, right? And boom, it's like a huge cooldown reduction. I'm just shaving 8 seconds off, like a goddamn blood wave, because I'm just literally dashing through someone, right? And our goal is like always to have the blood wave up as much as possible, because blood wave up means people don't attack me, right? If the blood wave is there, if I'm pushing people around, then they can't attack me. And that's like here, this fiend here, he's just being pushed around by the blood wave. Everyone else is being pushed around by the blood wave. So people that get pushed around, they can't damage me. And therefore you're just consistently trying to push people around, especially with a triple wave, which just like, see all these Bloodborne here right now? I just push like every single thing, I just push it back, right? Nothing actually is able. Wow, that blood wave exterminated him. Oh my goodness. That blood wave, did you see that? That poor blood wave just one-hit the dude. Oh, that was cute. Oh, he just gets sent back to Narnia. I like that. The blood wave is prone to occasionally do like high-powered overpowers, right? So it's possible that I can actually pull that off. Okay, sir, like your stupid bubble that you have there was like really not what I was looking forward to fighting through. Like, Bloodlands is no area damage, but it is area damage. I think that this is what like people need to understand, that technically, like, so Bloodlands does not do area damage, right? Bloodlands is technically bad in killing masses of opponents. But that's a bit technically, because the way how Bloodlands essentially works is that it just lances everyone, and then it creates like a cascading damage effect that inevitably blows everyone out of the water. Especially since that cascading damage effect originates from the strongest opponent on your targeting. So that means the strongest opponent you're targeting gets blown out of the water, but every other opponent that's essentially around that strongest opponent you're targeting gets daisy chained into it and dies due to exposure to Bloodlands. It's kind of fun, right? I'm gonna play Druid this season. Yes, I will 100% play Druid, but so I can't play a new class while I'm here in America. Okay, so I'm currently in America. I'm at the Blizzard offices. Like, I was invited to work here. Like, they have us test some things. I just can't tell you what I'm testing. It's like, it's illegal to tell you. Right? So, like, essentially, I'm not allowed to talk about it, which is sad. By the way, they can't do any damage to me. Look at this. Like, we're doing damage to all three of them. Look at the life bars on top, because like the blood lances. You notice how the blood lances are going into everyone. So you might not see the guy at the bottom, right? But the guy at the bottom is taking equivalent damage right now, which is actually funny to me. He's actually dying just from being exposed to this. It's working fantastic. So that's like, see, he's just half HP because he exists. The only problem is that I couldn't curse him, so I technically have to curse this guy and this guy, right like this, So they're actually both curse and take the bonus overpower damage. But because if I don't curse both of them and I overpower the other guy by proxy, then he's not taking the bonus supposed overpowered. Oh, he just died. He's not taking the bonus supposed overpower damage from the Blood Moon breaches, right? So that's like kind of the thing. You gotta like go curse, 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 and then you gotta blast him. Okay, that's working good. Without my Ring of Starless Skies, which is a huge damage multiplier for this build, by the way. And without the Harlequin Crest, which is also another item that you kind of cherish for this build, right? Harlequin Crest does very good. So that's one we would want to have too. The problem again with Harlequin Crest is what we're going to do then with the armor. Right? As they can't do any damage to you, still talking about the Blizzard guys, they can't do any damage to me too. No lasting damage. Okay, we got it 5 a.m. for me. Okay. When I get like 2 hours, then I need to go for breakfast and back to the Blizzard office to do more Blizzard office things. But these 2 hours we shall use to kind of feel out how far can we push the build, right? I mean, we got to do some more Nightmare Dungeon. Okay, so what tempers would you say? More attack speed? More attack speed, right? What temper? More attack speed, huh? I might like more attack speed. But will we go for ultimate cooldown reduction? What do you think? I mean, I don't feel like we need resource, right? I mean, we could do Blood Orbs, give me more resource, but I could go Macabre, actually casting Macabre Scale restores resource as well. This one is a surprisingly good one. The casting Ultimate Skills resource, because we cast Ultimate Skills so much, and if I actually get at the point where I'm like out of resource, right, then casting my Blood Wave will actually also restore resource, which comes in very handy. By the way, chat, since I was yesterday at the Blizzard HQ, right, I know things that I can't tell you, but I know things that would blow you out of the water, and that's kind of sad, because I kind of want to tell you, but I can't. But I know things now, so I'm gonna have to like pretend that I don't know things for the next couple of months. But it's cool to know things, like teaser.
What do you need?
It's an interesting position to be in. Haven't been in that position with Diablo yet, right? To like be like, oh, you know, technically I know stuff, but I can't tell you. Sucks, don't? Yeah, like it sucks because I know you would all love it, right? So the thing is, like it doesn't suck. Like I can keep a secret, right? That's not the problem. But I just know you would all love this, right? Like it's like stuff you would just literally cherish to hear, and it would make you happy. But I'm not allowed to make you happy. So that's that.
Not bad.
It's gonna be definitely an interesting months ahead. Okay, this brings me to 44,000 life. We get the ring masterworked, we get everything masterworked 4 times. What we could now look to push higher. So technically, what can we improve right now? So our glyphs are lower turned than they could be, which means we could put Gravekeeper up, we could put Amplify up, and we could put Dominate up. That's technically what we can still do to squeeze out some more damage, right? Where is Donde está la biblioteca? Good there. Is it true that you copy other people's builds, post them, build as users, and make them worse? No, it's not true, Andre. But it's a very weird question, sir. Why would you ask something absolutely weird like that? Any Overwatch things? I walked past Tracer's booty. So, like, in the Blizzard HQ, you might have not been there. I haven't been there either, right? But in the Blizzard HQ, they have all these amazing statues. I mean, like, geez, I have all these photos. Wait, let's see if I can WhatsApp them myself and log into WhatsApp quickly, if you're interested, right? If you want to see. So I was in the Blizzard HQ and I saw, I gotta post them to myself on WhatsApp. Oh, there's my WhatsApp. There's these statues are absolutely incredible. Like the craftsmanship that literally goes into them is just extraordinary. So they're all in my WhatsApp now. Then I need to open WhatsApp on the PC. WhatsApp web. It's probably not going to work because we're not on the same network. Yeah, that's probably not. It's not going to work. You're not going to let me do this, right? Oh, God. You're being complicated, Wayne. Here, get this in. I think it's working. Chat is working. Okay, can download pictures. So there is a ginormous. Here, so that is probably just breaking the computer right now. I mean, I'm already like we're streaming to 2 sources, so this is ginormous tracer, right? Then we get one of my favorites, and the picture don't do them. The picture don't do them justice. Because this is a Jaina statue, right? So this is Jaina. But the thing is that like the actual cloth she's wearing, right? It's not like this plasticky cloth, right? It's actually real cloth. So she's like just cloth and leather. You could literally strip the statue if you're 9 feet tall and put this on. And it's also real hair they're actually using for the statues, which is kind of crazy, right? So that was like really cool to just go around the Blizzard HQ and see like this Tyrell, right? And these wings is the only thing that's holding him upright, and they're also fully LED and everything. So it's kind of cool. Why did you just come to stream to shit talk? Well, I mean, Andre is like a low-life loser, as it seems, who just wanted to come here to stir up shit because he saw stuff in the internet and choose to believe it. Like, again, my friend, you cannot influence what other people do. I mean, he said he watched another YouTube video that was claiming point A, then came here to, like, obviously ask about it. But he already made up his opinion, so he literally didn't come here to ask about it. He just came here to be a twat. I mean, I don't know why people literally take time of their day to be a twat, but, you know, again, people's choice. Congratulations to you on the great opportunity. I'm on the one hand time like excited to be here, right? On the other hand, it's kind of like stressful because right, YouTube pays the bills, and I'm like literally here at the Blizzard HQ, not making YouTube stuff. Like instead of grinding my heart out, getting the mythic uniques, making new builds and so on, like right. But hey, it is what it is. It is online, it must be true. Yes, absolutely. So I wanted to do a tormented boss and see like how I would feel about it, even with the like not perfected version of this yet, right? How do I feel about just blasting away here for gore? Cooldown is good, so we're essentially sitting at infinite essence. That's the whole point. I feel like we're a bit low on attack speed. Yes, I'm saying we're a bit low on attack speed while we're actually attack speed blasting away, right? But there's like the thing, it could be more. So I feel like I'm missing the attack speed on my gloves that would enhance this even more. Yeah, I'm liking the damage output, but we need more life. So right now, our biggest issue is that we don't have Doombringer. That's literally our biggest issue, because if we had Doombringer, we could effectively sit at a like 45% increased max life, and that's the thing like with Overpower. Like it doesn't matter how much Overpower damage you have. Like we have 5,000% Overpower damage, right? We have 1,000% crit, so we have like a significant amount of Overpower damage, but there's literally a limit to how useful it is. So right now I'm getting more sacrifice bonuses, but the more sacrifice bonuses are not adding as much as you would like it to, because simple matter of fact, like, right? Because there's diminishing returns on the calculation of overpower, which I'm like kind of sad about, because overpower is still such a niche mechanic. And you know what the only reason is that they kind of like cut into the max damage of overpower, and that's Barb, right? They literally changed how overpower actually works, because of Barb. Not any other class. It was just like, oh, you know, Barb is kind of like over-calculating really fucking hard, so we actually get to do something about it, right? I was like, but sir, what about every... Oops, I just got lasered. What about every other class that isn't Barb, right? Like, but you know, what about us?
I cannot use that.
What about the non-barbers? So yeah, that's a bit of a sadness, but it makes like the overpower builds a bit less intuitive, because in a crit build, what do? You stack crit. Surprise, right? Who would have guessed? In a vulnerable build, what do? You stack vulnerable. Also correct, right? But what do you stack in an overpower build? Oh yeah, life, crit, but not too much. But not too much life, but not too much crit, but not too much overpower, right? So it's like every build has kind of like this kind of a straightforward way how you would empower it. Only overpower is like, okay, so you get to sit down and you get to do the math, like how much, like there's an actual formula at some point how much more damage you would be getting from more life versus how much more damage you would be getting from more overpower. And the formula always favors life. With the simple fact that it's not only life, it's life plus fortifying, right? That's a big point to not forget. So the more life you have, the more fortify you have too, right? So you're essentially going to be sitting at 40,000 life, which is also 40,000 fortify, which both calculates into your damage calculation. And then if you're actually having 100,000 life, correct, you're also having 100,000 fortify. So that's kind of like two things that actually play a role there. You want to know something even more funny, and that interaction is actually very unclear to you. It's whenever you're actually casting a bone prison, right? And that bone prison gets healed. Yes, I said it, healed. By you picking up blood orbs. So if I spam my bloodlands, right? And Gregoire is like in the middle of the prison. By picking up the blood orbs, you heal your minions. And the bone prison is what? A minion. Blair, what's better, crit rate or crit damage? For the Panther, you technically want to have weak spot damage, but you could go for crit rate. I mean, crit rate in this case is better because without crit rate, you won't have crit damage. Kind of. So you want to play this, but you can't play this, sadly. 4 rings to corpse explosion and 50%. Lucky hit chance high, attack speed high. Wow. I do desperately want to make a corpse explosion build, but we all know it's trash. That's the problem. Like you really do want to make a corpse explosion build. But it ain't just doing it. How will you make a working corpse explosion build? Tell me. Necro's way too weak, Christopher. No, Necro's not way too weak. I think Necro is in a decent spot of the most realistic game experience you can have, right? So like that's the best way how I can say it. Like, Necro is not weak. There's also a build that can just kill this way faster. So obviously, Bloodlands is a very fun build. Okay, so Bloodlines is a very fun build. It's a very good build. But you gotta consider that Bloodlands is also, despite being very fun and very good, still an off-meta build, not an on-meta build, right? It is fantastic. It's great. It's enjoyable. And all the mechanics are working nicely into each other. And if I would now 8 times masterwork up gear, I mean, look at my Mutilator plate, right? If I 8 times masterwork this up, or even 12 times, I'm going to get another 25% max life bonus. So my damage is just going to skyrocket alone from the Mutilator plate existing, which is a very cool thing, to be honest. And that's like my main damage scaler right now, correct? How do I get my damage higher from this point on? How do I get there? It's simply by just getting more life, right? I don't even have the max rubies in, so I have the 6% life rubies, so that's 6, 6, 6, and 6, 5 times 6. So we're missing 4 times 6. We're missing 12% max life due to not having bigger rubies. So that's like an interesting position to look at. Rogue and Sorg is better. Sorg is incredible this season. Rogue is incredible this season. Barb is incredible this season. Druid too, but that's not the point. I mean, if you want to play Necromancer, then you play Necromancer. Johnny, Christopher, right? That's the best way to say it. Like, I know the other classes are in a good position right now, and Necro is probably the least played class this season. I would easily argue that Necro is, like, probably, like, Necro was, like, last season actually played quite a lot. So it was, in Season 4, it was really popular, obviously due to minions. This season is probably the least played, simply because the actual Bone Spirit build is fun, but the problem with the actual Bone Spirit build, that the gameplay loop for a casual gamer is shit. Because Bone Spirit build is a setup build, right? What's a setup build? So with the actual Bone Spirit build, what you're doing is you're walking around, you're putting your Bone Prisms in, you cast your Bone Spirit sparingly, so you're not actually spamming it like you do in the spam Bone Spirit build. And then you're kind of like, the gameplay just doesn't feel super smooth with the billions of damage Bone Spirit. It's fun to get like the billions of damage, but it also doesn't feel like very good for Hell Tides. So you're essentially having a build that you can like do high pits with, right? You can blast tormented bosses. But if you want to do normie content, right? AKA you want to do Hell Tides, right? You want to just run around in the open world, right? I don't know, wood, right? It's gonna like feel clunky ass. Like even Infernal Hordes, like the normal Bone Spirit build just feels bad. Because you might be able to nuke things, right? But it's just such a clunky setup build. And that's where like Necromancer is probably at the least popular right now. Right? It's just what it is. Like it's just in the worst position it's ever been in terms of popularity, which is okay. Like I mean it happens. This will probably change with next season. Because then everyone is gonna play Spiritborn. then every class is the least popular class but Spiritborn. So that's that, right? This is like doesn't matter if you're unpopular if everyone else is unpopular as well. Problem fixed, chat. Ta-da! Creative solutions for creative problems. But yeah, like Necro is definitely unthankful. That's also why we're definitely going to be focusing on the other classes. So I have a very interesting Barb build that I want to try out. So we theory crafted some cool shit, and the Barb uniques are actually looking really fun. I want to try out Druid, and especially Overpower Druid again, because Overpower Druid for the Infernal Hordes just sounds like brilliant. I mean, I don't know how you feel about this, but when I think about Overpower, right? When I think about Druid, I'm like, hey, could I just play Pulverized Druid in Infernal Hordes, just put myself on the one side of the map and go like with the Druid. So that's definitely a plan I get in my mind. But again, like I need to do the 1 to 100 streams for that. Necro needs skill tree for minions. I mean, Necro needs anything for minions, to be honest. I mean, minions are still good, but I have to say they feel underwhelming for the Infernal Hordes. Because you're going to have so many opponents at some point. Like, right, Infernal Hordes just keep spawning opponents, keep spawning opponents, keep spawning opponents. And Necro has some okay area damage with the minions. But you're still often ending up at the point where where you're just literally getting overwhelmed by the masses of opponents and they just refuse to attack your minions. So what happens is that your Necro essentially gets attacked, and since you don't have a barrier on the Necro, you just die. So that's a stinker. What I do really want to try out is the the Bone Spear build as well, because I have like the good items for it. Like I actually have everything for the Bone Spear build. So I think I'm gonna get you the Bloodlands build first. Like there's gonna be a video about it for the people that are interested in it, right? So it's in a very good state. Like it's still the rapid fire machine gun that I imagine it to be. And there's still like so much ceiling, right? So if we get the Harlequin crest, it's even better. If we get the Ring of Starless Skies, it's even better. So there's like so much possible improvement still that I'm actually happy with. Ether Lords. Oops, I cursed a lot. Landslide, yeah, I heard Landslide is incredible, especially so Druid is in an interesting position where a low gear investment makes it relatively strong. So no mythic, no crazy Ubers, no anything, and you could still like absolutely dominate with Druid this season. It's surprising because Druid is usually in this position where unless you're investing like copious amounts of everything, like Druid will just not be powerful, right? You gotta like literally go out of your way to make Druid powerful, and unless you like have all the XYZ, well, I don't know what can actually kill me. If you have the XYZs and all the belts and whistles and everything is like going crazy, unless that is like happening, like Druid ain't just feeling like crazy amazing. Oh, that poor Ether Lord. Oh no, there was another etheric mask. I need that etheric mask now. So yeah, that's like where Druid currently is, which is really intriguing, as it's never been there for me, right? Like it was usually you play Pulverize, and Pulverize somewhat works, but if you want to go for any of the other Druid builds, you gotta like get all the cool stuff together, and you gotta get like all your shape-shifting uniques, and if you don't have them, like you're just gonna feel like terrible. So, yeah. It was boring for you. I can understand that. Which Druid is which Necro is S tier this region? Anything with Bone Spirit is definitely good. I have actually not seen any Bone Spear dude go crazy. There is a very efficient Blood Surge build. The problem is, no matter how efficient you make Blood Surge, like you can essentially make Blood Surge undying currently, right? That's kind of nice. But no matter how undying you make Blood Surge and how infinite resource you make Blood Surge, it just will feel bad against bosses. That's the thing. It just feels bad against bosses, and that's always a stinker because like right? Bloodlands feels better against bosses than what Surge does. Surge feels better for clearing this. So what you technically should do is you should have gloves for Blood Surge with you and play Blood Surge until you reach bosses, and then you should swap over to Bloodlands technically. But like yeah, the Blood build for some reason like it can't do both. I mean, Bloodwave definitely fixed this to a degree, but Bloodwave shouldn't be an ultimate skill, right? I mean, I don't know whoever thought this is a thing, right? But Bloodwave is simple matter of fact not an ultimate skill. Are you just playing solo, or are you playing with viewers? I play 90% of the time solo, and with viewers we're playing for tormented bosses, for example, unless I need to kill tormented bosses for content reasons and see if like a build can do it. But most of the time we play solo. The main reason is that I do enjoy Diablo solo the most, right? I don't see much benefit of playing with other people, and I'm a Necro. So the thing is, I'm a Necro. So as soon as I play with anyone, like I play with my good friend Neil, right? What happens? Well, he's gonna teleport ahead with his sword, and I'm gonna be somewhere on Narnia, still trying to get up to him while he's already like he's already killed the boss in the dungeon, right? He's already at the end, and I'm still at the beginning, and I'm like, Neil, wait for me, right? Can you wait? So playing as a Necro has like this very sad position of you just like you're better off alone, because everyone else is just gonna make you feel sad, right? Everyone else is just gonna make you feel sad, Because matter of fact, not having movement is still the biggest detriment. I mean, sure. So, like, listen, guys, you know what we got this season? We got an aspect that if we're using Reap could be a movement skill, but we also got an aspect that if we're using Blood Mist, then we could dash into Blood Mist, and then if we're getting out of Blood Mist, then we're actually then we reset our cooldowns, and then we're faster, right? Like, so we get all that cool stuff. The problem is that in any, like, there's literally no build. There's no build in Necromancer right now that could naturally include these aspects and actually profit from them, right? There's only ways how to put them into a build but it's not making the build better, okay? It's like, sure, I can put this into my build, right? I can, matter of fact, make it work, but it wouldn't be like I can make my build better with it. It's just like I could make it work. A reason unknown why I would though, but I could. Right? So that's the interesting part. I still don't know what kind of made Blizzard put that in, because it's like, okay, but like, did any of you actually think about what this could be good with? Do you like this more than Bone Spear? So the reason I like this more than Bone Spear is what I hate about Bone Spear is that you always pigeonholed into playing Bone Storm. So what is the one skill that keeps Necro alive? What's the one skill that makes Necro not die? What's the one skill that keeps us from getting killed? Bone Storm. Together with the Shielding Storm, right? That is the only skill to survive, correct? Even a Blood Surge build actually plays Bone Storm, right? Even a Blood Surge build plays Bone Storm. And that's not how it should be, right? It can't be that we have Army of the Dead, we have 3 different ultis, but you're essentially like, if you're playing anything but that one ulti, look at them, how they're all standing together, and I cursed them all at the same time, and look how much damage they're all taking now. Because they're all standing together, like, right? And the Bloodlands is daisy chaining them all. Like, notice how they're all just dying? All dead. That's the fun part about this boss fight with like Bloodlands, because it essentially just like puts them all like essentially they like, if one takes 20 million damage, right, all of them take 20 million damage. That's kind of like how it works. Kind of cool. Okay, we're getting all the Ingolith now because I want to upgrade my chest to just boost the damage a bit higher, because I kind of want to see like what amount of life we can get, especially without a life potion yet, right? Because I haven't even taken a 20% life potion. Why is there no blood shield? I mean, like, it's not a question why is there no blood shield. Why is there not a single defensive ability, right? So I am playing Bone Prison because it reduces cooldowns, right? But I am playing Bone Prison as a defensive ability. So what are you doing in this build? You're having Blood Wave to push enemies back, then you have Bone Prison to lock them in and make them vulnerable. But that's the thing, right? Like, how is this how's that my defensive skill? Then we also have Blood Mist, but you might notice that we're actually never using Blood Mist, correct? So we do have Blood Mist, and Blood Mist does exist, but you actually never see me using Blood Mist because why would I? Right? Like, Blood Mist is literally like, maybe I need it every hour 4 times. So that means I have a skill in my bar that does nothing for me, but I have also no other skill that I could put in the bar that would do anything for me. And it's just sitting there and waiting to one day be like, I can be your hero, baby.
Not bad.
Okay, we're sitting at 20% max life. Woo! I kind of want to greater I want to masterwork this one to actually bring it higher. That would be so cool. It's weird seeing a Necro build not using Flesh Eater. This is another point of Necro that I would be not happy with. So Necromancer, yes, has the Flesh Eater node and it's the best multiplier, right? So this is consuming 5 corpses, grounds 40% increased damage. Wow, like, yeah, fuck yeah, so good, right? But that's the thing, right? You gotta be consuming the 5 corpses to do damage. And how are you consuming corpses with this build? You're not. There's no way, because how does Bloodlance do damage? So if I do 6 Bloodlances, I overpower. That means I want to spam Bloodlance. But if I'm spamming Bloodlance, I cannot do a single other skill, right? I'm continuously spamming Bloodlance. So I don't even have the opportunity to fiddle in corpse explosions, nor do I have the space here to kind of get it done. What would be nice to have an ultimate that consumes X corpses, right? So sure, Bone Storm can consume X corpses, but why? Like, we have a Bone ultimate, we have a Blood ultimate, we have a Corpse or an Army of the Dead, right? But what we're missing is like some kind of corpse explosion ultimate, like consume X corpses to do boom. That would be nice, because then I would have an ultimate that I can spam that would actually consume corpses for me and fix one of the issues. That would be nice. That would be an interesting mechanic. I mean, Blood Surge kind of fixed this. So Blood Surge has a solution, because what Blood Surge does is Blood Surge essentially consumes corpses with an item called Cruer's Embrace. So by blood surging, you consume as well corpses, right? It's kind of cool. Blight for 20% damage instead of Blood Mist, but equip aspect where Bone Prison spawn Blight. See, that's the problem. So you're not wrong that Blight Bone Prison is like an interesting proposition. But that is another aspect slot that you simply don't have. So not only would I have to like equip another aspect, right? I would also have to move skill points around to essentially have that then working. It's such a travesty to like get going that it's just like not worth it to even do it. Like, unless you're already utilizing Blight in a meaningful way and having your Bone Prison put out Blight would be worth it. It's just simply not a thing that you will ever do, right? But if I had the aspect slots, don't worry. Like, if you give me another belt aspect slot, we can talk. I can make this work. But with the current amount of aspect slots and everything you have, no way we're gonna see that function in any capacity. Bye, Mr. Ether Fiend. So yeah, technically though, you could fiddle in a Blight. So instead of having Blood Mist, I could just could randomly put in Blight. And then we could do 20% more damage. But that would also mean that you just randomly have to cast Blights every single time. So every, how long does Blight last? Every 6 seconds you would have to cast a Blight. Like, I prefer my builds, like, how do I say this, right? So I am not the biggest grinder, chat. Like, it's very interesting because you know who's here at Blizzard? Again, I'm at the Blizzard HQ, guys, right? So who's here at Blizzard? We got Mippy here. Mippy is the rogue god. But he's also known for diving extremely deep into the pit and breaking the game. So, like, he actually tries to find the most OP shit and then just break the game, right? Doesn't matter if it's like clunky to play or anything. If it's like absolutely broken due to some mechanics, then it's being like played, right? And that's the thing. Like, I always try to make builds that everyone can use, right? Maybe to the detriment sometimes of being efficient. So do I mind casting every 6 seconds Blight? No, I could do it. I could cast every 6 second Blight. But let's say you're playing on your controller in front of your TV, drinking a beer while your 12 kids are rampaging in the background, just like 90% of the players are doing, right? You don't want to have a build where you essentially have to do 10 different things just to have it work. Right? So I prefer, like, this build is essentially, right, I stand around, I hold down my right mouse button, and I could just spam out blood lances. What I have to then do in between is cast my blood wave whenever it's off cooldown, but I can literally stand on the spot here right now. I curse my opponents every now and then as well, so whenever a new opponent comes, right, he needs to be cursed, but that's about it. It's not really a very challenging gameplay loop. It's a very intuitive gameplay loop, right? So everything feeds into each other. You curse for damage multiplier, but the curse also lasts, I think it was 12 seconds, right? You put the bone prison around someone to actually keep them away from you, and then whenever the blood wave is up, you just literally spawn it. And apart from that, I'm just standing here and holding down my right mouse button. Right? I'm not doing anything. I'm just like standing rooted to the spot, holding down my right mouse button and doing the maximum damage possible as like everything just falls in front of me, like they're being mowed down by a scythe. Right? And that's the beauty of the build. Bone prison, curse, blood wave, and hold down right mouse button. And that's like a gameplay loop that you can easily tell everyone of a certain skill level to use. Correct? And then this is how I attempt building. But you notice, like in everything I just said, this is vastly different to other people, right? I mean, if you watch other people, it's gonna be like, this is the best S tier, ultra S tier super build that does the most damage possible, and like you know, right? It can push you the deepest in the pit. With this build, you will be able to farm like up to tier 8 pit. Yes, I mean for tier 8 pit, I will have to masterwork my gear further up. Simple matter of fact, right? I'll just have to get my gear 8 out of 12, and then I should be able to just do the same to tier 8 pit. Very simple, and that's the thing, right? What are you going to be able to farm tier 200, tier 200 of the pit, tier 8 of the pit, tier 8 of the infernal hordes, right? Yes. Are you going to be able to farm tier 200 of the infernal of the pit? No. Are you going to be able to be the biggest pit blaster in existence? No. But that's not the point, right? You can also use this build very efficient for hell tides because it works very well for hell tides. It actually just obliterates hell tides too. So it's a nice build to actually do things in the overworld. If you then I mean, if you still do stuff in the overworld, I don't actually know if you do because I haven't been. I haven't been in a while, right? But that's like, you know, it's a good multi-purpose build that can do every piece of content and carry you through the season to achieve all your goals. And is it able to kill Uber Lilith? Yes, it's also able to kill Uber Lilith. Right? Heavy trait level 6 or 7, so level 6 is useless. Why is level 6 useless? Because level 6 does give you 22 ingolith per material chest, whereas level 5 gives you 20 ingolith. So why would you even do 6? So again, like just as an FYI, don't do 6. 6 is a waste of your time. The next tier would be 7. Have we done 7 yet with this build? No, simply not. Why? Because I wanted to upgrade my chest piece further to actually get to the level of damage that I want to be at, right? Because we're just want to have like more max life happening. And I'm genuinely not sure if I'm getting away with the whole Novaria thing, or if I have to bend myself like a pretzel to find another source of staying alive, even though there is simply none. And that's like the thing. So I don't have any other source of like survival, right? So I have my damage reduction going on that I have going on. I could change some runes to potentially have more damage reduction going on, but I don't have like any source of making myself sturdier. It just doesn't exist for blood builds apart from playing Bone Storm, which you again don't want to do. So yeah, that's where we're waiting like for masterworking the chest to boost up further, and then we're probably gonna do a tier 7 too. And tier 7 is, by the way, the best thing to farm. So tier 6 is useless, tier 5 is good for getting gear, and the best one to farm is tier 7. Because tier 7 starts dropping Neath Iron, the final upgrade material you need for masterworking, right? I mean, sure, you could go into the pit to get Neath Iron, but why would you do that, right? I mean, why would you do the pit when you essentially have the infernal hordes that do everything for you? I mean, I personally don't like the pit, but it's again because I'm a necro. It actually comes down to being a necromancer has so many things. Why don't I like the pit as a necro? Because you have to walk, Chad. I mean, I'm immobile as fuck. I could as well sit in a wheelchair. I'm sorry if there's anyone in a wheelchair actually, but I could be in a, like, right? Every other class is a goddamn speed racer, while I might as well just not even bother moving. That blood wave was just so beautiful and just took them all out. Like, it literally took them all out. Blood wave, whee! I wish there was a way to have blood wave do even more damage. You know, I wish we could have it as a main skill. Ether Fiends, give me more Ether. Now we're gonna put up Ether Lords too. Tier 8 is useless. Tier 8 is essentially, like, Tier 8 is the same as Tier 6. So what does Tier 8 do? Tier 8 gives you a minuscule more amount of materials for beefing up the HP of opponents by a vast amount. So you're essentially would be doing something for the sake of doing it, but there would be no, like, it's literally when your mom comes in your room and it's like, why did you do this? And you would say, because I felt like it. But you wouldn't actually have like a good reason why you did something, right? And that's what Tier 8 is. I mean, apart from beating it one single time, right? So end of the day, the reason to do Tier 8 is you just wanna beat it one single time. That's the goal for all of my builds this season, right? Not go as deep as possible in the pit. That's not my goal. My goal is beat Tier 8 one time with each build. And yeah, you notice this is my favorite gameplay loop. I love this build because it's such an effortless blasting, right? We're not struggling in any way. See, that was my one time where I actually had to use my Blood Mist to not die. But it's very, very relaxed, effortless gameplay, right? You're just shooting things. The gear requirements are also not too crazy, if I'm honest with you, because getting the Mutilator plate is relatively easy. Getting the Bloodmoon Breaches, the Flicker Step is optional even. So all of this is rather achievable. Where's the best place to farm uniques for Blood Surge minions? I mean, the bosses, the boss side or bosses. Okay, we want everyone to kind of like gather up. So I want everyone to gather up so I can curse them. But I also like, I need to curse them and they like need to stick all together. Like look at these two guys, how they're both taking like incredible damage, but actually all four of them, right? So the closer they are together, they all die. The good old Bloodlands daisy chain, right? Just make sure they're all cursed. One died, other died, third died, done. It's just gold. Makes me very happy. Oh, a triple greater affix focus. Holy. I mean, show me the money. Are we picking this up? Because I want the ruby fragments. Honestly, right now, I just want to have like the big rubies because again, they're the biggest. Like rubies are the biggest gain of damage I can get at the very moment. Sounds so sad, but it's like, how do I get more damage? Oh, rubies. So who wants, chat? Who wants to bet that the focus is absolutely useless? By the way, sorry, Bubbles for the subscription, Winter for the 12 months, Wicked for the 65, Angry for the 13 months of support. I didn't get to talk to the NECRO Dev because he's not there. Thank you for all your subscriptions. Sorry for missing that. So I did not get to talk to the NECRO Dev. He is not here right now. But I explicitly asked if you could, like, because so all the Blizzard devs, they're only in the office at like a few times per day, right? Oh wow, resource cost reduction and maximum resource and damage. This is so useless. I'll probably still sell it to someone. I'm pretty sure someone is gonna buy it for the max resource and then gonna reroll like cooldown reduction on it because max resource on the offhand is needed for the boner spirit. Right, for the boner spirit. But yeah, so the Necro class designer was sadly not there, but I do hope that he might come in the next couple of days in, so I can actually talk to that guy as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, everyone raise their arms and pray for my maximum life to get master worked. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend. I mean, seriously, that's kind of OP. I'm not gonna lie. 25% max life, right? Oh, I actually do get 22% damage reduction for enemies affected by blood scales, huh? Wait, I have more damage reduction than I think I have. So we get damage. We get like the damage reduction with 25% here, and we get a 22% there. That's not bad. Because so like it's also damage reduction for enemies affected by blood scales. It's when bloodlines is sticking into them, and bloodlines is sticking into everyone, right? Are dungeons the only way to level glyphs? Yes, nightmare dungeons are sadly still the only way to level glyphs. So you're kind of like stuck with that, right? To just get this up. And we could do a blind barrows if you want to, just to give you a feeling for how a tier 100 plays, right? Because we're just like, you essentially just blood waving everything and it just dies. It's kind of like fun. This is blind barrows. We all know how annoying blind barrows can be.
I'm not ready yet.
By the way, thank you, chat, for also tuning in during these hotel streams. I know the setup is not what you're usually used to, right? Like at home, everything is better. But I hope we can still make it a good experience for you. It's like it's not horrible. You're not hating it. Like you're just enjoying yourself. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. I mean, it helps a lot when you're out and about. And usually, like, I wouldn't be streaming, right? Like, I would be focusing, like, fully on just like, doing whatever I'm here to do. That I can't tell you. but I just simply sleep a bit less. And I'm just able to also, like, share things with you. So that makes me very happy. As I just don't want to leave you there. Because otherwise, everyone is going to force you to play Bone Spirit. And I just don't want to do this. By the way, do you notice how often things are getting frozen? So we currently have a, like, my Blood Wave again has a 60% lucky hit chance. A 60% lucky hit chance with a 20% chance to freeze is actually quite good, right? So 60% of the times there's a 20% chance to freeze opponents. But that's essentially all my Blood Lances could freeze, all my Blood Waves could freeze. So it's creating also on bosses like an amazing amount of stagger just randomly out of nowhere. that you just have like compounding interest with everything else you do. The only sadness I have is that I can't effectively play minions with this. Right? I would love if instead of like Bone Prison, you could technically play your skeletons. The problem is that you need the sacrifice bonuses. Right? With overpower builds, you're like, hey, so I can get 40% more overpower damage? Well, don't mind if I do.